Compete at the shallow end of the gene pool. What do you mean by that?
I work a lot. I have this little side nonprofit project that I started at Cal Berkeley. I have all these students who are in it, but I end up giving a lot of career advice. And you have these really hungry kids who want to get these great jobs, and they ask, how do I get these jobs? When you're really smart, when you get into these elite universities, when you get into these elite when you get into Columbia B School like you did, what ends up happening is you all compete to go to the most prestigious places. And it's crazy because you have people who are in like the top 1% or the top 1/2 of 1%, which is like royalty in one sense, but they're all gathered together and they're killing themselves. And my experience as a corporate lawyer was like, I was a smart kid and I did well on standardized tests and things like that. And then I went to the law firm where that was just a price to enter. And I was actually a quite terrible lawyer because I wasn't willing to pull an all-nighter. And so when I got into tech sales was not a desirable thing. It was like kids who couldn't bother to finish community college and so just sort of like washed up in tech sales. The real funny story, which is the sort of coda to what we opened with, maybe this is a good bookend, is I was like, wait, this is a sales job? And so I went out the next day, someone said, let me introduce you to a sales guy. And I went and met a sales guy. And he said, why don't you want to do sales? I said, wow. And he goes, look, man, if you can work from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and spend less than half your time playing fantasy sports, then you are already in the top 5%. I go, yeah, but is it good? And he said, I own 2 houses in San Francisco. And this is 10 years ago. I made $450,000 a year for the last, 8 years. And I went home and told my now wife, I said, I'm a sales guy.
I'm getting sales.
And it was like, oh man, I worked so hard to compete against these other folks. And now there's this one industry.